This study is amazing. I cannot believe this. This study took mice and chopped their testicles off. They took the Leydig cells out of their testicles, now the Leydig cells being the things in our testicles that produce testosterone, as well as their Sertoli cells, which produce the sperm in our testicles. But what the researchers took out were not mature Leydig cells. Oh no, they took out baby stem cells of Leydig cells, which are in the infancy stage and not mature at all. And then you know what they did? They took these, put them in a dish, and grew a culture of Leydig cells outside of the mice's bodies. And once they had a culture of all of these Leydig cells, they injected it subcutaneously back into the mice. And at the same time, the researchers gave 3 of the mice that were castrated and therefore had testosterone levels of 0. They gave them testosterone replacement therapy to compare how this would stack up to literally injecting a mice with its own Leydig cells that had been cultured outside. That is amazing to me. And then unfortunately, some of the mice were just left castrated with no testicles. So I really would not want to be in that group if I came back reincarnated as a mouse in this study. But there you go. And they compared how the groups went and what happened. Well, this is just amazing. I cannot believe this study. I love this. What they found, amazingly, they found that the Leydig cells they injected into the mice actually grew into mature Leydig cells in the abdominal fat. Like, can you believe that? They're so far away from where they're supposed to be in the testicles. Here they now are in the abdominal fat and they actually matured. You're not going to believe this, but you know what happened? The Leydig cells that were injected into the fat started to, I kid you not, started to produce testosterone. Not only this, it actually started to become under the influence of our HPG axis from our brain, because the rats that received this subcutaneous injection of Leydig cells had higher levels of FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone, that is indicative of the brain trying to control the cells in the stomach. That is incredible to me. So even though the testicles are all the way down here, well, I can't show you on the camera, but even though the testicles are all the way down there, the abdominal fat, where the new Leydig cells were injected into in these mice, started to become under control of the brain's HPG axis, and the brain started to produce testosterone in the abdominal fat of these mice. I mean, what is going on right now? I just think this study is absolutely amazing. The cells, which are supposed to only ever be found in testicular tissue, were taken out, grafted and grown in culture, injected back into the mice's subcutaneous tissue in their abdomen. And suddenly the brain started to try and control those in the abdomen. And it didn't just start to try and control it, it started to produce testosterone from the cells in the abdomen. Keeping in mind, these rats had no testicles, so they were producing 0 testosterone. The only testosterone they were producing was from the Leydig cells, which were now way out of position in their bloody belly. And it started to produce testosterone. I cannot believe this. Like, what the hell? Now, I know some of you will be saying, but yeah, the mice who actually were given testosterone replacement therapy had way higher levels of testosterone, and that is true. The amount of testosterone was not very high in the group that was injected with the Leydig cells, but I think that's missing the main point of this study. See, one of the key issues with testosterone replacement therapy is that it suppresses our natural production, LH, FSH, and shuts down our brain endogenous production of testosterone. However, by injecting the mice with the Leydig cells, it didn't shut down their natural production at all, and in fact the brain started to produce testosterone even though they had no testicles whatsoever. And whilst the testosterone production wasn't really high, this is why I love science, is that it's about finding new and innovative ways, even though it may be completely out of the box and the most random thing you've ever thought of. Like, who would think of injecting testicular cells into the abdomen? But somehow it worked, and yes, it wasn't perfect, but this is about science. And science is all about taking a random wacky idea and seeing if it works and improving on it over the years. Because other scientists will take this paper and they may be able to build on it themselves. themselves and find out some new way that increases the testosterone production even more. Maybe more Leydig cells are needed, maybe a different area of the body, or maybe they'll find some new treatment entirely. Anyway, as far as unique studies go, I think this is amazing. Just to even think taking the Leydig cells out of the testicles where they're supposed to naturally be and then injecting them in a completely different area of the body, it actually started to produce testosterone. And what's amazing is the brain recognized that and started to try and control them and started producing testosterone. I mean, what a study. Like, this is just amazing. The most interesting study probably I've read to date. And I had to share this with you guys. I'm a total nerd when it comes to this, but thank you for watching. I really appreciate all your support, guys. And if you're ever thinking you're having a bad day, just think about being a rat losing its balls in a study and not getting any testosterone replacement. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. And what an amazing study. I'm so happy to share this with you. See you guys.